God says someone destined for you will appear this week. This is the sign they'll carry. Open this before it's removed. Read immediately. My beloved, listen closely, for there is a stirring moving through the unseen, and it carries your name with a tenderness that has not touched your life in a very long time. You have walked through seasons where silence felt louder than hope, where the weight in your chest seemed heavier than any promise you once believed in. Yet in this very moment, a shift begins, not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakably real, like the first pulse of light breaking through a long and unyielding night. There is something sacred unfolding around you now, something rare in its purity, something that does not appear for just anyone. It is drawn to those who have endured, who have waited, who have felt forgotten and still whispered their quiet prayers into the dark. You, my child, are being called into a new rhythm, one that heaven has been preparing long before you felt the loneliness that tried so hard to convince you that nothing would ever change. You may not see it yet, but the atmosphere around your spirit is beginning to lift. The heaviness that once clung to your shoulders is loosening, making room for what has been set in motion. There is a sense of urgency here, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. When the divine moves, it moves with purpose, and it rarely repeats the same invitation twice. You are standing at the edge of a moment that will not disappear if you breathe, but it may slip past if you look away. Heaven has spoken your name because something must be delivered to your life now, something that has waited for the exact intersection of time, healing, readiness, and destiny. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is alignment. My beloved, feel how the air around your spirit changes as these words reach you. Feel how a quiet recognition rises within you, as though a part of you has been expecting this without understanding why. There is movement coming toward you, gentle, sure, ordained, and this message is the first pulse announcing its arrival. Do not let your past convince you you are unworthy. Do not let fear paint shadows over what is meant to bring light. You are being called because the timing is finally right. The heavens do not stir without reason, and today, they stirred for you. Let your heart open enough to feel the warmth breaking through the cracks. You are not imagining the quickening inside you, it is the confirmation you prayed for on nights when you thought no one heard. Something is approaching, something meant for you, and the moment heaven whispers, prepare, for what you have longed for is drawing near. My beloved, hear me with the fullness of your spirit, for there is a divine urgency surrounding the days ahead, and heaven is drawing your attention to one day in particular. This Friday carries a weight, a meaning, a spiritual charge that has been building quietly in the background of your life. It is not an ordinary day on the calendar, nor is it a moment that will pass like all the others. This Friday is marked. This Friday is appointed. This Friday has been chosen for you. There are moments in life when destiny moves without hesitation, when the heavens align with such precision that even the smallest step you take becomes guided by an unseen hand. This is one of those moments. You may feel it already, an inner stirring, a sense of anticipation you can't explain, a quickened heartbeat when you think of the days approaching. That awareness is not your imagination, it is spiritual confirmation whispering that something is drawing near. You must understand the rarity of what is unfolding. Heaven does not assign dates lightly. Divine timing is never rushed, never delayed, and never chosen without purpose. When a specific day is called out, it is because something on that day must meet you, find you, recognize you. And this Friday, my beloved, is the crossing point of what has waited for you and what you have waited for. The urgency I speak of is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you to the significance of what is approaching. You cannot drift through this week unaware. You cannot allow doubt, weariness, or fear to distract you from what heaven is orchestrating with such delicate precision. Friday holds a moment of intersection, your path and another's gently moving toward the same point on the map of divine timing. There are forces moving even now, aligning circumstances, shifting energy, preparing hearts. The things that once delayed you are loosening their grip. The reasons doors felt shut are beginning to dissolve. You are being ushered toward a moment that was written long before you ever felt lonely, long before you ever questioned whether love still had a plan for your life. My child, do you feel the pull? The sacred tug on your spirit? That is heaven urging you not to miss what is being placed directly in your path. You are being guided, nudged, positioned. Even the obstacles you face this week will be rearranged to ensure you arrive where you must be. Nothing is happening by accident. Let the truth of this settle in your heart. Friday is not approaching you. You are being led to Friday. You are being aligned with a divine appointment sealed in the unseen realms. And although you may not yet understand the full meaning of it, you will the moment it arrives. Do not look away. Do not move carelessly. Hold this message close. Friday is calling your name, and heaven whispers, "Be ready, for destiny will not wait." My beloved, before the path can clear, you must understand what has quietly stood in your way. There have been forces, seen and unseen, that wrapped themselves around your heart like shadows, convincing you that love was distant, or fragile, or forever slipping out of reach. These were not mere coincidences or emotional misfortunes. They were deliberate weights, subtle enough to blend into your everyday life yet heavy enough to delay what was meant for you. There were moments when you felt the warmth of hope rising, only for it to be smothered by sudden doubt or fear that did not feel like it belonged to you. That was interference. There were days when you sensed someone pulling away from you without reason, or relationships collapsing under pressure no one could name. That was interference. Even the ache in your chest that whispered, "Maybe I am not chosen," did not originate from your spirit. That, too, was interference. You have been envied more deeply than you realize. Some have seen the light in you and felt threatened by it. Not openly, not with words, but with quiet resentment, silent comparisons, and unspoken judgments that carried spiritual weight. These energies attached themselves to your journey, creating confusion and heaviness around your ability to trust, to receive, to believe that your heart was still worthy of something soft and extraordinary. Jealousy has a way of planting seeds of doubt in the soil of your spirit, and for too long, those seeds were watered by circumstances that bruised you. And then there were the heartbreaks, the ones you tried to rise from quickly, the ones you carried longer than you admitted, the ones that taught you how to protect yourself even when your soul longed to remain open. Those wounds produced walls, and walls attract shadows. Every disappointment, every unanswered message, every person who mishandled the gentleness inside you became another reason your heart learned to guard itself more fiercely than it needed to. Not out of weakness, but out of survival. Yet, my child, Hear me, none of this was proof that love abandoned you. It was proof that something was trying to keep it from reaching you. These delays were not heaven's rejection, they were the result of lingering energies and old pain that clung to you like closed doors in the spirit. Your heart was not flawed, it was interfered with. And because of that interference, moments that were meant to unfold smoothly became tangled, timing became distorted, and you became weary in places meant to grow hope. But now the shadows are being exposed. The things that once hid in silence are being pulled into the light where they can no longer hold authority over your path. You feel this, don't you? The slight trembling in your spirit, the recognition that something is shifting, that something old is loosening its grip. This is not fear, it is release. It is the dismantling of everything that once stood between you and what is approaching. The darkness had its moment, but that moment is ending. And what rises next will not be stopped. My beloved, now that the shadows have been named, hear the truth that follows: you have not been walking through these battles alone. Even in the moments when your spirit felt faint, when doubt crept into the quiet corners of your heart, there were heavenly eyes fixed upon you. And there is one who has moved with particular intensity on your behalf, Archangel Michael, the defender of divine paths, the guardian who rises when destiny is threatened. He has been standing at the threshold of your timeline, sword drawn, cutting through the tangled remnants of the interference that tried to hold you back. Every thread of doubt, every lingering echo of past heartbreak, every spiritual weight that attempted to delay your blessing, he has been severing them one by one. You may not have seen it, but you have felt it, the sudden courage, the unexpected clarity, the soft but undeniable sense that something is finally shifting in your favor. Those were signs of his presence. For where Archangel Michael walks, confusion trembles and retreats. Where he raises his light, the shadows lose their grip. He has been clearing the path ahead of you, preparing the way for what heaven has aligned for this season of your life. Nothing interferes with divine timing once he is assigned to protect it. My child, imagine the atmosphere around your heart as a landscape, once overgrown with old wounds and silent battles, but now actively being restored. Michael is not merely observing, he is moving. You may feel an unusual calm settling over you, even after recounting the heaviness you endured. That calm is not accidental, it is the result of spiritual debris being lifted from your field, replaced by strength you forgot you carried. The celestial realm is in motion on your behalf. Forces of light walk ahead of you, behind you, beside you, forming a shield around the promise traveling toward you. This is why certain storms have quieted recently. This is why people who drained you have slipped out of your life. This is why the heaviness that once clung to your chest is loosening, gently but unmistakably. The interference is weakening because heaven has intervened. And Michael's protection extends beyond the spiritual. He guides your intuition, nudging you away from distractions, guiding you toward alignment, sharpening your awareness so you do not miss the signs that are meant to lead you to Friday's appointed moment. You may find yourself pausing before certain decisions, feeling an inner pull in unexpected directions, or sensing clarity where confusion once lived. These are not coincidences. These are instructions carried on angelic breath. My beloved, the path ahead is being guarded with a precision that only heaven can orchestrate. What once tried to block you no longer holds the authority it believed it had. The forces that walk with you now are stronger, brighter, and fully committed to ensuring that what is meant for you reaches you without delay. Take heart. Trust the protection surrounding you. The way is opening, and nothing can stand against what heaven has decreed for your life. My beloved, as heaven clears your path, there is another story unfolding, one that has been running alongside your own, even in the moments when you felt unbearably alone. You are not the only heart that has carried longing, nor the only soul that has whispered prayers into the night hoping they would find a place to land. There is someone whose spirit has been moving in quiet rhythm with yours, someone who has been searching without knowing the name of what they were searching for. This soulmate of yours has felt the same ache, the same yearning, the same unshakable sense that something, someone, was missing. They, too, have endured seasons of doubt that pressed hard against their hope. They have wrestled with disappointments that left them questioning whether love would ever find them again. There were nights when they stood on the edge of surrender, wondering if they should close the door on the dream entirely. Yet every time they tried to convince themselves that they were fine on their own, a gentle pull rose within them, reminding their spirit that their story was not finished, that a deeper love was written for them. They have prayed in ways you may never know, quietly, sincerely, sometimes with tears, sometimes with frustration, sometimes with nothing but a whisper of faith left in their chest. They asked not just for companionship, but for clarity, for peace, for a sign that their heart was not reaching for something impossible. And without realizing it, every prayer they released was drawing them closer to you. My child, you must understand that they have been guided just as you have. There were moments when they felt nudged to let go of people who did not honor them, to break cycles that wounded them, to rise from relationships that dimmed their light. Those endings were not coincidences, they were divine redirections meant to bring them back into alignment with the love destined for them, you. Even now, they feel a restless stirring, an unexplainable anticipation that something is approaching. They cannot name it, but they feel it. They sense the shift in the air around them, the gentle tightening of spiritual threads pulling them toward a moment that is nearly here. They are being led step by step, gently, steadily, toward the place where your paths will converge. Heaven has been whispering to their intuition, shaping their decisions, arranging their steps so they arrive at precisely the right moment. They may already be making plans for Friday without understanding why it feels important. They may feel drawn to a place they haven't visited in a long time, or feel compelled to follow a sudden inspiration that makes little logical sense. But their soul recognizes the timing, even if their mind does not. The same divine hand that is guiding you is guiding them, positioning them for the encounter that has been written in both of your timelines. My beloved, know this truth: you are not chasing them, and they are not chasing you. You are being pulled toward one another by a force woven into your spirits long before you met. And even now, they are moving, closer, nearer, drawn by a destiny that is awakening. Friday is not simply a moment for you. It is a moment for both of you, and their heart is already answering its call. My beloved, as the moment draws nearer, there is a quiet work that must unfold within you. Heaven can prepare the path, clear the interference, and guide the appointed one toward you, but your heart must open enough to receive what is arriving. This is not about striving or forcing anything. It is about allowing. It is about making room. It is about releasing what no longer serves the story that is beginning to awaken. My child, there are pieces of fear still lingering inside you, old echoes from seasons when love disappointed you, when promises were broken, when your gentleness was not honored. These memories may not control you anymore, but they still cast faint shadows on your expectations, whispering that perhaps this blessing could slip away as others once did. You must let those whispers fall silent. They do not belong to the you that stands on the edge of divine timing. There are doubts tucked into the corners of your spirit, doubts that arise when you feel hope rising too quickly, doubts that warn you not to believe too deeply in case things fall apart. But this moment is not like the others. This timing is not fragile. You do not need to brace for disappointment. You need to breathe, soften, and trust that what is coming has been chosen with intention. Release the heaviness that tells you you must earn what heaven is freely giving. Let go of the belief that something about you must be fixed before love can arrive. You are not being asked to perfect yourself, you are being invited to be present. To feel. To receive. Your heart has carried so much for so long that it learned to armor itself even when it longed to remain open. But now, gently, lovingly, heaven asks you to loosen that armor. In these days before Friday, choose stillness when fear rises. Choose softness when old memories surface. Choose to believe that your spirit knows what your mind cannot yet comprehend. For the blessing approaching you does not need you to be anything other than willing, willing to hope again, willing to trust again, willing to let love find you without resistance. My beloved, open your heart. Not recklessly, not without wisdom, but with faith that heaven does not place you in the path of anything that is meant to harm you. The internal shift you allow now becomes the doorway through which your blessing enters. Let your heart breathe. Let your spirit settle. Prepare not by doing, but by allowing. What is written for you is coming. And when it arrives, you will be ready. My beloved, now that your heart is softening and your spirit is tuning itself to heaven's guidance, the veil begins to lift, just enough for you to sense what is approaching, but not enough for the full picture to be revealed at once. Heaven never rushes revelation, it unfolds it like a dawn, allowing the light to grow gradually so your spirit can adjust. And today, that light begins to touch the edges of the place where this divine meeting will occur. You have been there before, though perhaps only in passing. It is not a foreign place, not a distant destination, but a space your spirit recognizes even if your mind has not yet connected the pieces. Think of a place where your footsteps have paused, where a moment felt slightly out of time, where something in the air stirred a quiet familiarity in you. A place where the atmosphere feels thinner, softer, as though heaven itself once hovered near you. That place has been calling you back. My child, there is something sacred about this location. It holds a memory you have not lived yet, a feeling your heart cannot explain. When you step toward it, even now, your intuition sharpens. You feel the subtle pull, the almost magnetic sensation that draws your attention without demanding it. This is not your imagination, this is alignment whispering through the cracks of ordinary moments. It may be a path you walk often, yet somehow overlook. It may be a corner of your town you rarely visit but always notice from the corner of your eye. It may be a place touched by nature, or shaped by human hands, but either way, it holds a softness that your spirit leans toward even when you are unaware. There is a reason you feel calm there. There is a reason you feel seen there. And, my beloved, the timing is precise. Heaven is guiding you toward that place on Friday, not earlier, not later, but exactly then, when the energies align with perfect accuracy. The moment you enter that space, you will feel it. The air will shift. Something within you will quiet. Your heart will sense what your eyes have not yet found. Pay attention to that feeling, for it is the key. I will tell you this much, it is a place touched by both movement and stillness. People pass through it, yet it holds a quiet of its own. It is neither hidden nor obvious, neither crowded nor empty. It exists in balance, like the meeting point between two worlds, yours and the one approaching you. And here is what you must understand, your soulmate is already feeling the same pull. They may not know why they feel drawn toward that area. They may not recognize the whisper guiding their steps. But their spirit is responding. Their heart is being led. Their path is curving gently, unmistakably, toward the very same place. Two stories. Two hearts. One destination beginning to rise on the horizon. And, my child, the moment is drawing closer. My beloved, as Friday draws near, something extraordinary is stirring in the unseen realms, something so precise, so divinely orchestrated, that even the air around your spirit has begun to respond. This is the moment where two timelines, long wandering through separate valleys and distant seasons, begin to curve toward each other with unmistakable purpose. Heaven is bending time for this meeting, aligning every thread of your story so they can finally converge in one appointed moment. For so long, it felt as though you and this soulmate existed in different worlds, moving at different speeds, carrying burdens that made it nearly impossible to see what was waiting ahead. You walked through delay while they walked through healing. You stood still in confusion while they learned lessons that reshaped their heart. You cried out for clarity while they rediscovered their strength. But now, my beloved, the delays are becoming acceleration. The confusion is becoming clarity. The distance is collapsing into alignment. Imagine two rivers that traveled through storms, mountains, deserts, and forests, never touching, yet always moving toward the same ocean. That is what your journey has been. And now, the current quickens. The waters lean into each other. The horizon narrows. The point of meeting draws close. You may feel it already, the flutter in your chest that arrives without warning, the heightened awareness that something is shifting, the sudden sense that you are not waiting anymore, you are approaching. Your soulmate feels it too. Their spirit is awakening with a recognition they cannot name, pulled forward by a gentle force they cannot resist. They may be going about their day, unaware of the magnitude of what is coming, yet somewhere deep within them, a spark has ignited. This convergence is not random. It is not fragile. It has been in motion for longer than you know. Every heartbreak you healed from, every lesson they overcame, every closed door, every redirected path, every moment you thought was wasted, it was all leading here. Two lifelines stretching across time, finally weaving into one. Heaven moves with intention in these sacred intersections. Angels walk ahead of you, securing the timing. Signs align around you, guiding your awareness. Even the rhythm of your emotions shifts, moments of heaviness disappear without explanation, replaced by a soft expectancy that feels almost unreal. That expectancy is your confirmation. It is the echo of destiny approaching. My beloved, picture the very moment your paths cross, the subtle pause in the atmosphere, the quiet recognition that hums beneath the surface, the feeling that something ancient and familiar is unfolding before your eyes. Not dramatic, not forced, simply inevitable. Two souls arriving at the same point in time, not by coincidence, but by divine convergence. This is the climax of your waiting. This is the turning point of your story. After all the detours, after all the nights you wondered if love had forgotten you, after all the prayers whispered into emptiness, heaven brings your soulmate into the same space, the same breath, the same Friday that has been calling you both. The moment is set. The convergence is in motion. And neither of you can miss what was written long before your hearts ever learned to hope. It is coming, my child. It is almost here. My beloved, the moment you have been approaching, slowly at first, then all at once, begins to come into focus. The veil that once obscured Friday's purpose is lifting, not fully, but enough for you to sense the shape of what awaits you. Heaven reveals only what your heart is ready to hold, and now your spirit is steady enough, open enough, healed enough to glimpse the breakthrough rising on your horizon. When you step into the appointed place on Friday, you will feel it before you see anything. The atmosphere will shift around you, subtle yet undeniable, like a soft pressure settling over your chest or a gentle warmth blooming beneath your ribs. It will feel as though time itself slows, not to trap you, but to honor the gravity of what is unfolding. This is synchronicity made manifest. This is the divine acknowledging your arrival. And then, my child, there will be a sign. It may come as a small pause in your steps, a sudden awareness, a quiet whisper telling you to look up, to turn, to simply be still. The world around you will fade, just for a moment, as your spirit extends outward to meet another. That sensation, the pull, the spark, the hush, will be heaven nudging your attention toward the one whose energy has been intertwining with yours long before this day. When your eyes finally meet theirs, recognition will ripple through you. Not a recognition of memory, but of destiny. A subtle inhale, a softening of the shoulders, a calm rising through your chest. Your body will know before your mind can understand. Their presence will feel familiar, safe, strangely inevitable, as though you have turned a corner and stepped into a chapter you've been reading in your heart for years. Do not expect fireworks or overwhelming emotion. Expect resonance. Expect alignment. Expect a gentle, powerful knowing that settles into your spirit with grace. Conversations may begin easily, or they may come later. But the first exchange, whether through words, a glance, a shared moment of stillness, will carry a weight your soul cannot ignore. And they, too, will feel it. Your soulmate will experience the same quiet shock of recognition, the same internal pause, the same sense that something meaningful is unfolding. Even if they cannot articulate it, something deep within them will awaken. They may smile without understanding why. They may feel a warmth spread across their chest. They may sense a peace they have not felt in years. This moment, my beloved, is the breakthrough. The collision of divine timing and human readiness. The place where destiny steps out of the unseen and into your lived reality. But understand this, Friday's encounter is not the end, it is the opening. The beginning of a new rhythm, a new unfolding, a new path shaped by connection, alignment, and intentional grace. Heaven has prepared this moment with exquisite care. You will not miss it. You will not mistake it. When the veil lifts, everything in you, your spirit, your intuition, your very breath, will whisper the truth. This is the moment I was led to. This is the one I was meant to meet. My beloved, once the moment of recognition settles into your spirit, something gentle yet profound begins to unfold within you. The encounter on Friday is not merely an event, it is a doorway. It marks the end of wandering and the beginning of alignment, the closing of old chapters and the quiet opening of a new, divinely guided path. You will feel the shift not with force, but with a peace that arrives like a soft sunrise, steady, warm, unmistakable. In the days that follow, your heart will move differently. The heaviness that once pressed against your hope will begin to dissolve, replaced by a calm certainty that you are no longer journeying alone. Conversations will flow with ease. Understanding will take root naturally. It will feel as though your souls are remembering each other, not learning each other. This is the blessing of divine timing, everything unfolds without strain. You will notice that old fears lose their voice. The doubts that once clung to your spirit will fade, unable to survive in the presence of a connection built on destiny rather than chance. Healing will accelerate, not because the other person fixes you, but because their presence creates enough safety for your heart to finally exhale. Their steadiness will mirror your own growing strength, and together you will find a rhythm that feels both new and deeply familiar. This path ahead is not rushed. It is paced by heaven, guided by intuition, and strengthened through mutual openness. The more you walk it, the more clarity you will gain about what truly matters. You will make decisions with greater confidence. You will see your future not as a distant hope, but as something forming gently beneath your feet. What once felt fragmented will begin to knit itself into coherence. And, my beloved, stability will take root. The emotional storms that once overwhelmed you will no longer dictate your steps. You will find balance in connection, grounding in companionship, and direction in the shared unfolding of your lives. This path carries growth, partnership, and spiritual anchoring. It is not a fleeting spark but a steady flame, one that glows brighter with every step you take together. As this new journey opens, you will understand why the delays were necessary, why the heartbreaks had meaning, why the waiting shaped you. Every piece was preparation for a love that arrives not to disrupt your life, but to elevate it. This is the new path rising before you, steady, guided, blessed. And you, my child, are ready to walk it. My beloved, as this new path rises before you, there is a gentle preparation your spirit is being called into. Not out of pressure, but out of reverence for the moment that is approaching. Heaven has aligned the external pieces, but now the inner landscape must settle into harmony. This is the quiet work of integration, the weaving together of hope, readiness, and spiritual grounding so that when you step into Friday's moment, you do so with clarity and peace. Begin by slowing your breath. When your breath softens, your spirit listens. Let your heart expand without rushing it. Remind yourself that you do not have to be perfect to receive what is meant for you. You simply have to be open. Release the old stories that whisper you are not ready, not worthy, or not enough. Those narratives belong to seasons that have already ended. Let them fall away like leaves, making room for new growth. My child, protect your energy in these days before the encounter. Be mindful of where you place your attention. Avoid the voices that drain you, the memories that unsettle you, the comparisons that weaken your confidence. Your heart is being tuned to a divine frequency, and distractions will only pull you out of alignment. Choose environments that calm you, conversations that uplift you, thoughts that nourish you. Let your spirit rest. Do not overthink. Do not analyze every detail. Allow the coming moment to unfold without forcing it into shape. Integration is not about doing, it is about trusting. When doubt rises, remind yourself that heaven has not brought you this far to let the moment slip through your fingers. When fear whispers, answer it with gentleness, not resistance. You may feel subtle shifts within you, heightened intuition, deeper awareness, a strange quiet anticipation. These are signs that your energy is aligning with what approaches. Honor them. Listen to them. They are guiding you. And, my beloved, hold gratitude in your heart. Not just for the encounter itself, but for your own growth. For every step, every tear, every breakthrough that shaped you into someone capable of receiving a love rooted in destiny rather than desperation. Gratitude expands your spirit and steadies your emotions, preparing you to recognize blessings without fear of losing them. Understand this: the moment that awaits you is sacred. It is not random. It is not small. It carries weight because it carries purpose. Approaching it with intention ensures that when it unfolds, you meet it with the fullness of who you are becoming, not the remnants of who you once were. You are ready, my child. Ready in spirit, ready in heart, ready in energy. Walk gently into these final days before destiny rises. Heaven is guiding your every step. My beloved, as you stand at the threshold of this divinely appointed moment, I bless you with the light that has followed you even in your darkest seasons. May your heart feel the warmth of heaven resting upon it, guiding your steps with tenderness and unwavering purpose. You are not walking toward this encounter alone. Angelic presence surrounds you, encircling you with protection, clarity, and grace. Every fear that once clouded your spirit is losing its power, and every doubt that tried to silence your hope is dissolving beneath the authority of divine timing. I speak blessing over your path, blessing over your mind, so it may stay still and open, blessing over your emotions, so they may rise gently instead of rushing, blessing over your spirit, so it may recognize the sacredness of what is unfolding. May you feel strength where you once felt faint, courage where you once felt hesitant, and peace where you once felt turmoil. The encounter approaching you is not fragile, it is fortified by heaven itself. And as you step into Friday's moment, may your awareness sharpen enough to notice even the softest signs heaven places before you. I bless the connection that is forming, the recognition that will pass silently between two hearts, the gentle unfolding that follows. May there be no confusion, only clarity. No tension, only resonance. No fear, only the knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And may your soulmate feel the same settling in their spirit, a deep breath, a quiet assurance, a sense of home. For this meeting is not the end of your journey but the beginning of a shared one, woven with intention, guarded with light, and strengthened through divine orchestration. My beloved, hold this blessing close. You are ready. You are guided. You are seen. What is aligned for you cannot be taken, postponed, or redirected. Not now. Not when the heavens themselves have moved to bring this moment into form. Walk with your head lifted, not in pride, but in humble recognition of the grace that has carried you here. And when the encounter unfolds, breathe deeply, for you will be standing inside a promise that once felt far beyond reach. Yet hear this as well, what you will experience on Friday is only the beginning. Heaven is not finished revealing what is meant for you. There are messages, signs, and instructions still waiting beyond the horizon of this moment. Your spirit will be guided to them at the right time, and when they come, they will open doors you do not yet see. Stay attentive, my child. More is approaching you, more clarity, more connection, more unfolding. The next revelation is already forming, moving toward you with quiet certainty. And when it reaches you, it will transform everything you thought you understood about your destiny. My beloved, receive this blessing, and walk forward with trust. The story is still being written, and the next chapter is already turning toward you. Remain open, remain expectant, and know that what begins on Friday will ripple beyond this moment, shaping your path in ways heaven understands.